know there are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
Can somebody please tell me what the is going on? Yes. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. What are we on? Where are we? Let me go over there. Rafi. Sound check. What are we on? Where are we? Sound check completed. Okay, how we looking? Okay, you got people up in the building. Nissan Boxing up in the building. Cal L up in the building. Lisa Bayliss up in the building. Can't forget Shiz Biz all up in the building. Okay, it's been an interesting week of boxing. We're going to chop it up. And for those who have never been here before or haven't been here in a while, how we do over here at Boxing Talk with Rafi is we look at boxing related matters, stories, boxing related and not boxing related. So I've got a lot of scope. To do this thing. Let's just where are we? We're on the YouTube now. Okay. Let me test out what's going on. Make sure this thing is running right and good. Okay. Yes. Ready for combat indeed. Okay, scroll down. Okay, funny stuff. People are in good spirits. Okay, so where do I begin? Well, I know exactly where I begin. We're gonna begin with a non-boxing related topic. Can't ignore it. Probably the biggest news, sports related news of the year. And gonna have to give you a little video, a little clip of the video while I prepare some other things. And this will allow us to allow the area to populate. Okay, so let me start this thing. Okay, when the music stops. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so allow me to share my screen. And then we'll get into the warm-in video. Okay, let's make this thing bigger. What's the volume like? Get some volume on this baby. Okay.
And today, bringing you the news of Kobe Bryant's passing. Okay. First of all, we're going to get into a news article, and then I'm going to give you my take. Okay. So first of all, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, his daughter, Gianni, and the 7 other people who passed in the helicopter crash in Calabasas, Okay, so helicopter rotors chopped through the foggy canyon Sunday morning. Too loud, too low. Scott DeHallen was taking a smoke break while setting up the sound equipment at his church in Calabasas. It was 9:45 or 44 a.m. He tracked the sound in the sky towards an empty hill across the Las Virgenes Road. Okay, the helicopter hit the slope in a violent crash of metal, followed by the explosion that reverberated through the canyon and around the world. Okay, so Kobe, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and a beloved and at times frustrating star who mesmerized Los Angeles for his 20 legendary years as a Laker, was killed in the wreckage at the age of 41. 41. Puts things into perspective. 41. His daughter was 13 years old. Gianni died alongside him, as did 7 other people, everyone on board. Bryant appears to have been headed to Thousand Oaks to coach his daughter's basketball team in a travel tournament. He leaves behind his wife, Vanessa, and 3 daughters, Natalia, age 17, Bianca, 3, and Capri, 7 months, not yet born in this picture. A Sikorsky S-76 helicopter built in 1991 departed from John Wayne Airport, I guess at 9:06 a.m. Sunday morning. What did Kobe Bryant mean to me? Well, okay, so over here in the UK, basketball is not massive, but we are aware of it. I played it in school, and for me, what Kobe Bryant represented was someone who was an example of someone whose talent could not be denied. Sports in general offers an outlet. It's an area where if you're talented and have the dedication and application, you can succeed regardless of race, color, or creed. So Kobe Bryant was a representation of someone who applied himself to his task, got to the very top of his chosen field and excelled. So, in other words, he gave hope to many who may feel that other avenues were not as readily open to them as sports. So, an inspirational figure, not just because of his talent, but due to his application. Because when he got to the top, he didn't stop, he didn't idle, he obsessively worked on his craft to solidify his position at the top. Unlike some who get to the top and feel, yeah, I'm there now I can chill. No, Kobe was an example of someone who got to the top. He always strived to be the very best. Yes, and in life, you will almost certainly, invariably have trials and tribulations at some point. If you're high profile, you almost certainly will have to clear your name of one allegation or another. And he did that. He was recognized by the very best as one of the very best. On a personal note, well, that was personal, but on a further personal note, in the picture you see Otis Redding. I remember seeing an album cover. It was my dad's album cover, an avid record collector. I said, "Who's that?" He said, "Otis Redding." Picture of an album. This picture was on an album, vinyl. And at some point, I can't remember when, but I found out that Otis Redding had passed. My dad explained to me he died in an airplane crash. Small aeroplanes or aircraft. Danger. And later on, I found out that Otis Redding was not the only high-profile artist to have passed in an aircraft crash. You see Rocky Marciano also passed in an airplane crash. That was after the end of his career. and many, many more. I mean, Lisa Left Eye Lopez crashed in a small airplane. And so I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a multi-millionaire. I don't know if I would opt for a small airplane or helicopter, even though the Scorsese, whatever you pronounce it, is supposed to be a highly advanced aircraft. I don't know if I'm a celebrity, if I'm having one of those. I don't know. Too many people have passed in those small aircrafts. So Kobe Bryant is a sobering thought. A man with so much wealth, but yet passed at such an early age. It's extremely sobering. What is the significance of Kobe Bryant? Significance was, to me, he was a family man. He reached the top of his game, and he never rested on his laurels when he got to the top. So he is the picture of application to one's craft and what one can gain when one applies oneself wholeheartedly, no slacking. And also he's a sobering thought that a man younger than myself with infinitely much more wealth than I financially can be taken in a blink of an eye, just like that. My heart goes out to Kobe, his daughter, who passed with him, his family, and of course, the ones we didn't know who passed alongside him. It's going to be interesting to see the inquest, how the crash happened. But we do know it was foggy, but the Scorsese helicopter is supposed to be top rated. So there's going to be some questions which need to be answered. But this video is just to acknowledge the accomplishments of Kobe Bryant, one of the best that ever did it. And on a more personal note, the fact that he showed that regardless of race, color, or creed, a person can make, from ordinary beginnings, can make it to the very, very top. Inspirational figure. I was shocked when I heard the news, but his accomplishments will serve as inspiration to those from ordinary beginnings to apply themselves continually in the pursuit of greatness. It's Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio.
Okay. Was I even sharing? Was that even sharing? I hope so. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Okay. So let's bring the beat back. Bring the beat back. As I come into the chat to see what's the haps. Okay. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what is going on. Let's sort out this music situation here. And we'll get it crunked up, get it fired up. Where are we? Where are we? Uno momento. Get this baby lined up. Okay, there we are. Okay, let me. Where are we? Where are we? Yeah. Let me put the link in the chat. Let me go ahead and put this link in the chat. Boom. 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 Okay. So, I'm ready for FaceTime. Uno momento. FaceTime. We got FaceTime. Damn. Session is dark. Need some uplighting. What's happened to my pad? My pad is not cooperating. It's decided not to cooperate. That's okay. You got the uplighting from the phone. Okay, I'll deal with the pad in a little while. Okay, so where we at? Okay. Red gloved militant. Oh, Georgie Porgy. Where is he? Let's get rid of that. Well, let me take care of that. Where are we? Okay, that's good. Okay, where we at? Okay, I had to take care of a few little things. I had to make sure session is clean. Okay, so let me address this thing. I apologize that the uplighting is not optimal, but my pad has given out. Don't worry, I've had it for years. It's just messing around, playing around. Hold on. How come everything got lighter just now? How come everything just got lighter? How did that happen? That's madness. Everything just got lighter. Okay, but anyway, where we at? Yeah. So we have a full schedule, but first of all, allow me to talk about the Kobe Bryant. Damn, the chat is running fast. What the hell? Boxing Jedi up in the building. Sound is clean. Yes. Been working on that. I like the shizzle to be clean up in here. The Boxing Jedi says R.I.P. to Kobe and Gianna. Absolutely. 100. Lisa Bailey says it looks like a recording studio up in here. Yeah, it kind of is, Lisa. That's part of the operation. That is in progress. That's in progress, but the recording studio is more the other side. That's the other side. But yeah. Okay, so where was I? Let me just take my time and keep on seeing. There we go. Okay, before I get into that, I hope I don't forget to address that. But before I get into that, we're going to talk about the Kobe situation. I think that's very highly impactful. What did I just do? Highly impactful. Got some shizzle prepared. So let's get into it. Let's kind of work this thing. Okay, so Kobe Bryant. What did Kobe Bryant mean to me? Of course, I'm from the UK. A lot of you guys are from the USA. Some of us over here from the UK. What Kobe meant to me was sports in general. Sports in general allows people to break out of molds. Sometimes people try to put you in a pigeonhole. You turn up for a job interview and thinking, well, put you in a pigeonhole. So if you apply for a job which people think, I don't know, can you do this? Well, I'm qualified, ain't I? You see that certificate over there? It's a degree. They don't hand those out like Smarties. Yeah, Ronnie Coleman. I should have put a picture of him up too. You know, one day we'll get there. One day we'll get there. But Ronnie Coleman, Mr. You know, one of the big old bodybuilder. Big old bodybuilder. I should bring him up. Bring him up yourself. Bring him up yourself. Ronnie Coleman. Easy spelling. He is a accounting graduate. Now, apparently, he graduated with good scores, good marks, good grades, but yet he could not find a company, a reputable accounting company that would take him on. So he ended up joining the police. He was a policeman before he made it big. Before he made it big in bodybuilding. So that's one example of someone studying for something, but he couldn't get through the Dow. So he took a different route. Now, the beauty of sports is that regardless of race, color, or creed, if you're good enough, and if you are dedicated enough, and if you can apply yourself enough, you're in. I think that's one of the beauty of sports. Yeah, that's right, the bodybuilder. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Ronnie Coleman, Mr. Olympia. Yeah, Ronnie Coleman, Mr. Olympia is an accounting graduate. So he graduated as an accountant. But couldn't get through the Dow. The beauty of sports is that if you're good enough and dedicated enough, you can get through that door. You don't even have to kick the door out. They'll let you in. And so I think what Kobe represented was a guy who got through the door. And instead of chilling and resting on his laurels when he got to the top, he never stopped applying himself. Never stopped. Kept on applying himself even when he was at the top. Recently, we have seen what happens when you get to the top and then just rest on your laurels. It ain't good enough. It don't work that way. So Kobe was a representation of somebody who made it through the door and never stopped applying himself. And that's the one part. That's the sports aspect. We're on the human front. So it's a tragedy that he's gone in that regard. But it's not a tragedy because he left us an example of what can be achieved with diligent application. Okay, on the flip side of that, there's the family man. Family man is gone, and that's the real tragedy. Family man is gone. Daughter was with him on the helicopter, so she's gone too. They went together, and he leaves. Or is it still 3 daughters? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 daughters. One in the belly there. She's now 7 months. The one that was in the belly is now 7 months old. So we got 1, 2, 3 daughters left, and of course the wife. So that's the tragedy. But you know what he did. He did what he did. His memory will live long as one of the basketball's all-time greats. And an inspiration for kids and adults all over the world. So he will remain an inspiration, certainly inspirational to me. And I'm sure many, many millions, not just in America, but all over the world. And I don't know. I'm in a different screen right now. I don't know. Has the boxing Jedi joined us? Hold on. The boxing Jedi, are you with us?
Yes, sir. What's going on, my brother Raph?
Excellente. Good to have you on. Yeah, man. It was Sunday evening for us over here in the UK when I looked at my phone and I saw the word. Thought, what kind of nonsense? This isn't very funny. Let me check. I scrolled around a few places and sure enough, damn, turned out to be true.
Yeah, so sad, man. I was writing the program for Late Night Boxing Talk, right? And I'm sitting down, and all of a sudden, I hear over the radio here in Florida. It's called Beach 105. So I'm sitting down, grooving to some old school music, and all of a sudden, it's like an editorial, just came up, and all of a sudden, they said basketball legend Kobe Bryant has lost his life in a helicopter crash.
Damn.
And I looked at my friend Anthony, who came over, and we both looked at each other like, and he said, "Can you punch me?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah. Let me punch you to see if I actually feel that and you feel it, to see if we're dreaming. This is crazy." So I gave him a nice punch in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, I felt that." I said, "Yeah, it's real. He's fucking dead. No way. Excuse me. I'm sorry. He's freaking dead. No way. No way." Then when I found out hours later, like maybe 2 hours and a half later, that his daughter was on it as well. Oh man, like that, it twisted my heart. And to this day, it twists my heart. And let me tell you guys something right now. There's always a lesson to learn from these things. Your children's, your other half, your loved ones, today, right now, after the show, if you want, or even during the show, call them and tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you mean to them. You know what I mean? And, because you never know, man. You never know.
I've said it many times before. This thing called life. I think I was talking about it just the other day. One of my neighbors from down the road, she passed away.
Oh, man.
Just the other day, some parcels were outside of a door for too long. And I'm thinking, is this what it appears to be?
Right.
Because I don't think she's gone on holiday. She's not the type to go on holiday. And I'm seeing this parcel outside of a door for days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is this what it obviously appears to be? And sure enough, a few days later, police come, kick down the door. I'm walking past and I say, I just look at them. Because they don't know me. I don't know them, but I'm just looking at them. I just stand outside the gate. I'm just looking at them.
Yeah. Damn.
And I say, has she passed? I say, yeah.
Man.
Said, did she go in a bed? Was she in a bed? Was she in a sleep? I said, yeah, it was in a bed. So was it natural causes? And he says, yeah, that's the way it looks. That's how it looks.
Yeah, so she went in peace. She went painless. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, God bless her.
She was young. She was only like, what, in her 40s?
Oh, man, God bless her, man.
Yeah, man. She was in her 40s, and I've said it before time and time again over here. Yo, don't take this thing for joke. Don't take this thing for this life thing for some kind of joke, because it ain't no joke.
No joke at all.
Red Glove Militant up in the building.
All right.
How's it going, fellas?
What's going on, my brother?
Yeah, buddy. Lightweight, buddy.
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, fire.
The neighbor that, it turned out she passed, was that the same one that you were concerned for her health?
No. I knew people would think that, but no. But funnily enough, she fits the same. She fits a lot of the categories that the one I was concerned for was fit as well. This one was just further on. The one I was concerned for, she's moving in that direction. The diabetes, the lack of activity. There's something wrong in our society these days. There's something wrong in our society. We're not as sociable as we used to be.
Yeah, and you know what I think it is too, Raph? People just don't know what the meaning of life is. Their life. And I say it like this: you got to take your life. You live your life and you be the best you that you can be. And if you have seeds that you have planted, you
Mhm.
make sure that you leave those lessons that you've learned from your parents on that dresser so they can grow and nurture and be a prosperous flower that budded all the way to the end of its life like you. That is what life is about, to be the best you that you can be.
100%. But yeah, I mean, I think people are getting less sociable. People are more hermit-like in some cases.
Yeah.
They just do the minimum they can do to get by and to live. But I knew the lady in question. And the thing that gets me is that, you see, Kobe now, he lived his life to the fullest. That's an example of someone who lived their life to the fullest.
Correct.
And then many of us, we don't live optimally. We don't employ our skills to the optimal level.
Right.
We have skills and we have talents that we underutilize because we so caught up in the rat race, so caught up in making money.
Absolutely.
So caught up in keeping on top of the bills. We're so caught up in the amount of hours we have to work that kind of, you see, the dogs agree with me. So caught up. We're so caught up in all of that that we don't exercise our talents to the optimal level. That's why I've said this year I'm doing some open mic. I'm working on it at the moment. I got material already. Going to work on that, hone that. Within the first half of this year, I will. Mark my words. Remember, I said it. Hold me to it. I will provide evidence on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio that feat has been accomplished.
Definitely.
And another target, another goal is salsa dancing.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. I want to get into it.
I'll send you a video.
I want to get into it. No,
yeah, bro.
I'll
send you a video. I'll send you a video. Me and the young lady just turning it out to Hector Lavo, kid. I got you.
Man. Yeah, man. I'm going to the classes. It's something I've talked about for a while. Haven't implemented it yet, but mark my words. Hold me to it.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Salsa is a very seductive dance, boy.
Hey, bro, I'm all good with that kind of area of life. You understand? I'm very comfortable with that area of life, so it's all good. But you see, it's not implementing. And my biggest fear, I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of not optimizing while I'm alive.
I got you. Yeah,
that's my fear. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to throw no shade at the lady. It's not an insult, but I know that there are a lot of other things she wanted to do, but she was in a cocoon. She was in a comfortable cocoon and she could function that way. But I knew she wasn't happy. I knew there was more things she wanted to do. And but you know, that's the lesson for us all. That's the lesson for us all. Live your life. There are so many pressures. I understand. We're all subject to those, but it's like jujitsu, you know, you just try and find a little bit of room. Just try and find a little bit of wiggle room to do some of the things you want to do, even with the time constraints. Red glove militant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you gotta, you know, hone your talents.
Yeah.
You know, take them to the next level and share them with others in hopes to inspire them to do the same.
100%.
You know, most people are not living to their full potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you're right. I mean, that's something that's not just for your listeners. That's for me. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure that's for
everybody.
Yes, for everybody. Like everybody could be, you know, working on their craft.
Yeah.
You know, to improve it to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know Jay Cotto, he does art.
Yeah.
He writes.
Yeah.
He's a very artistic person.
Yeah.
Me,
clearly.
I also have an artistic side.
Yeah.
Apparently you do, because I mean, Open mic, that's an art in itself, you know. So dancing, that's another art in itself. So
yeah, I'm a musician
you know,
and songwriter as well. Musician and songwriter as well, you know.
so I mean, and you're right. We get caught up with, you know, the responsibilities in life, but I didn't think about it till you were just talking about it just now. But if you were to work on your talent, it should be something that you enjoy. Somebody who's good at something isn't good at it because they don't like to do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that just doesn't happen. Like I'm pretty sure Jay Cotto likes to draw. That's why he's good at it, because he's put the time into it.
Yeah.
You know, and I've drawn and I've painted and there's other things that I do, and it's because I like to do it. You know, so you find that you do something that you like to do, you're naturally good at it, you improve on what your natural ability is, and ultimately you should be living a more fulfilling life, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like me, I've been drawing since I was like 4 years old, right? And after I graduated and shit like that, I went straight to a school of visual arts, got my associates for cartooning animation, and you know what I mean. And from there, I picked up some courses on how to write sci-fi and stuff, and from there you just add on. Like I said, you just try to be the best you that you can be. You know what I mean? And whether all of a sudden you want to do cross country biking, go and do it. Go and do it. Who's stopping you? If all of a sudden you want to become a diorama maker or a mechanic, learning how to build supercars, it's never too late unless you're 65, and even then you still can do that. It depends on your drive.
100%. 100%. So I think we chopped that one up. Where are we now? Yeah. We chopped that one up good and proper. So I think the message clearly is, where are we? Let me just put this up there. The message clearly is R.I.P. Kobe Bryant and daughter Gianni. And a special thought also goes out to all the survivors. All the other people who perished in the crash. There was 7 people altogether. 7 people altogether perished in that crash. And so this is a tribute to, this is a celebration as well. It's a celebration of accomplishments, celebration as well, and a tribute to Kobe Bryant for all that he optimized. He was one of those guys that optimized. We all aspire to optimize, and he did it. So once again, a tribute to Kobe Bryant for his accomplishments, and tribute to his daughter, everybody who perished in that unfortunate crash, and our best wishes to all of his surviving family members. Yep. Okay. And so we move on. Life goes on. The clock keeps turning. Time stops for no man. And I think we've all given our warm thoughts and feelings on that. And so now we move on with the show. Okay. So I'm going to address this question because it's a good question. Rafi, what do you think about Hearn coming out and talking about the apparent 150 million each for AJ versus Fury or Wilder fight in Saudi? I think the figures are kind of high. I don't see the figures being much different to the fight with the Ponce and the Ponce Ruiz. I think it's going to be in that ballpark. Yeah, could be higher. I think the biggest fight out there now is actually Joshua and Wilder, not Joshua and Fury. I think it's Joshua and Wilder because you got the whole of the USA going to perk up their ears for that one. Whole of the USA going to perk up the ears. The USA guy who's, you know, kind of chilled, shall we say, kind of chilled when it comes to his accomplishments. He ain't on no fast track. He's on the smooth track. And Joshua from the UK, stroke Nigeria, stroke Africa. You know, yeah, I think that's the biggest fight out there, probably the biggest fight in the world right now. Is it going to be 150 per man? I find that doubtful. 150 per man, nah, I ain't buying that. But it will be a big money fight. Later on, we're going to talk. Shall we talk about it now? Do we talk about it now? We could talk about it now. We could talk. Regular Militant, you want to jump in on that one?
Sure, you're talking about the 150 million per fighter, regardless of who it is.
He's saying 150 million. Apparently, it's been mentioned 150 million for Joshua and 150 for Fury or Wilder. I find those figures high and unlikely, but it will be a big fight, though.
Yeah, I mean, if the Saudis want to pay it,
yeah.
I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, I agree. Like, it sounds like a very inflated, like, you know, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about how the fight really wasn't $100 million fight.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, if you're talking about 150 million per fighter, regardless of who it is, you know, one side is AJ, the other side is either going to be Wilder or Fury. You're talking about a $300 million fight. It like. The fight has not tripled in that amount of time, but if that's what the Saudis want to pay, and then you know they think they can make that money back.
Disclaimer: disclaimer. I haven't seen that 150 per fighter. I haven't seen that. Somebody mentioned it, but I have not seen that. But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've been hearing is 150 million per fighter.
Okay.
So what was it that you heard, just out of curiosity, or did you not?
The numbers I have is 250 the total pot.
That's still close. That's still pretty close to 300.
Yeah,
million.
That's still close. That's like 100 for one and 50 for the other, something like that. But yeah, that's still close.
Yeah, I mean, any way you put it, I mean, me personally, I don't see either of those guys really deserving 50-50.
Nope.
AJ.
Nope.
Now, me personally, I've always had the stance that these are professional fighters, so it shouldn't be any less than 30. You know, the lesser share shouldn't be less than 35%, in my opinion. So, but 50-50 to me sounds like you're giving. To me, it sounds like they're giving a cut of AJ, you know, some of AJ's cut to the other guy. That's what it.
That's what it
sounds
feels
like
to me too. That's what it feels like to me too. Boxing Jedi.
Well, I see it like this: if it's going to be what 150, so the mil, right, each or something like that. So what we're looking at 300 million, right?
We'll go with the 250. Let's go with the 250 because that's the figure I've seen. 250 altogether.
Okay, so 250. All right. I just want to say, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but this fight is not even worth that much, not even 90 at this moment. I mean, it's so lopsided where you have AJ who is basically doing all of the work because of his you know, his accomplishments and his feats and you know, his accolades and where he's at. And then you've got Wilder, who has only fought 2 top 10. That's about it. I mean, and meanwhile, Joshua's fought them all. So it's a bit uneven. But you know what? I gotta respect the Saudis for this. Basically, their message is this: shut up. We got the money. Let's get this fight on. See, now that's what has to be done. You see, if these guys are talking about if Wilder's, you know, complaining about money and you know it's got to be this about money and cha-ching this and cha-ching that, then hey, we got the cha-ching now. So now if Joshua says to Wilder, let's make this fight, and Hearn says you're both gonna get, because Wilder's whole thing was 50-50, right? So if they're both getting 125 each, then there should be no excuse coming from Wilder's side.
Yeah. Yes. I hear that. But let's hear what Joshua has to say about this 50-50 business. We saw Eddie Hearn in the press saying that, 50-50 now. That you know, there could be an argument now for 50-50. And Joshua, anybody who hasn't seen my video on the topic with Joshua speaking about the 50-50, anybody who hasn't seen the video, Joshua going in on Fury. Who's that? Who is that? Okay. Another little trick move there. Another little trick move by somebody in the background. I know. Justin, how you doing? Changing your name all the time. Okay. So I think I'm sharing. Yep. Okay. So Joshua, not sold on offering 50-50 to Wilder and Fury. Okay, so do I read a little bit of this article? Let me read a little bit of this article.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn has mentioned in several interviews that the 50-50 deal would likely be necessary to finalize a mega bout with the Wilder Fury winner. Okay, Hearn cautioned that Joshua has to make the final decision on the 50-50 on a 50-50 split for that type of fight. And that's exactly what Joshua would require. A very detailed explanation on why the Wilder Fury winner is deserving of a 50-50 monetary split. When asked the question, would it be a 50-50? Joshua's response was, what's the reasoning? What's his reasoning? Referring to Eddie Hearn. What's the reasoning? When Andy was the champion, after he won the belts, there was a lot of uproar about where it should be, where the fight should be. He was the champion. He should decide, a lot of people saying. There's that aspect of when you're the driving force in the heavyweight division, you do get more of a say. Now, when I get the belt, I can talk about what? When I now get the belt, I can shush people. Oh, I can shush people so he can say he's basically can tell people to shut up about 50-50. Everything takes an explanation. I don't understand why it should be 50-50. It was the biggest upset when I got beat. People said it was the biggest upset. So now that I've won, it should be the biggest comeback. I want it all. I want 70%. I just made the biggest comeback the world has seen in recent boxing history. So if it was the biggest upset, then you've got to call it the biggest comeback. So so shouldn't I be compensated for that? Should I not be compensated? They said it was the biggest upset. Well, now they can say it's the biggest comeback. Red gloved militant.
I mean, I agree. He should. I mean, I don't agree with everything he said. I don't necessarily consider it the biggest comeback.
Okay.
However, even if it's not the biggest comeback,
yeah.
If you compare him and the competition, you know, his numbers, you know, what he's done, you know, these guys just started doing pay-per-views. He's been doing pay-per-views for a little while now, and not just doing pay-per-views, but doing successful ones. Whereas Tyson Fury, his pay-per-view in, you know, I think it was the Tom Schwartz one was on pay-per-view in the UK, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it may have been the lowest pay-per-view figures in the history of mankind.
Yeah. So you have that. Then you got, you know, Deontay Wilder, who just did 275,000 pay-per-view buys here in the United States with Luis Ortiz. In comparison to the, you know, 1.25, 1.5 million that AJ has done multiple times in the UK, it's not even close. Like, you know, like I said, to me, the comeback is not even really a talking point.
Mhm.
Just the numbers,
Yeah.
you know, and the fact that he has more of the belts. You know, he's the reason why this is an undisputed match.
Mhm.
A lot of people seem to forget that fact. They like to talk about 10 title defenses and all that. That sounds good, but it's one belt. It's one belt.
Yeah.
AJ got 3. You know, if you want to count the IBO, you could say he has 4. But with those 4 belts that we all consider when we're talking about undisputed, he has 3 of them. So, you know, if AJ and Wilder would have fought back when, you know, before AJ fought Parker, then it wouldn't be an undisputed fight. You know, but because he did fight Parker and beat him, and he has those 3 belts, he did all the legwork.
Yeah.
He's the one who collected them one by one, even lost them in the process, and then went and got them back. So,
Yes.
and fighting better competition. So yeah, he definitely, in my opinion, deserves at least an explanation. He's not even saying that there's no way it's 50-50. He's saying, explain it to me, make it make sense. And anybody who has a problem with that, I have to say, is just completely biased. Because he's not, like I said, he's not even saying there's no way it's 50-50. He's just saying, I don't see it that way. State your claim.
Mhm.
That's all he's saying.
Mhm.
So I think that's all I got to say about it. Like,
Yep.
I see it pretty much how AJ sees it in the grand scheme of things.
Yes. 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 Boxing Jedi.
Well, AJ does have the final say so, and of course, you know, we all know what AJ brings to the table.
Mhm.
If this fight was to be made by you know, between these two, I think the way it should be done is like this: Mike Tyson, as well as Muhammad Ali and all the other great heavyweights, even other guys in other weight divisions, what they used to do was they used to meet up one-on-one, them two, just the champs,
Yeah.
wherever it would be, and they would sit down and they would talk. Listen, we're gonna fight each other. You know, we got families to feed. We're brothers in blood.
Mhm.
This has to be done. You know what I mean? It would be a big disrespect if you don't fight me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This was done by every champion. By
Mhm.
every champion that wanted to fight another champion. They always sat down by themselves. And then after that step, they would talk to their promoters. Then their promoters and them would sit down alone. And then after that, everything else came up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just don't understand exactly why these gentlemen aren't just doing what they're supposed to be doing, you know, and just basically just basically just getting together like men and, you know, agreeing like men and just saying to each other, look, let's just fight until one of us are left the man. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
money will come. I mean, obviously, look, another country is willing to put all this money up.
Mhm.
So if these guys are going to get 125 each, I'm sorry if I'm going to ruffle somebody's feathers, but I don't see why Eddie Hearn threw it on Joshua's lap then. You know what I mean? If it was going to be, you know, if it's already 50-50, then hey, you know what? Let's agree. We're both going to come off with 125. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And what's going to matter is after that fight. What's going to matter, the level of greatness and the level of who is the driving force, right? Ultimately, with all the belts, would be the winner of that fight. And he would have all full controls and powers in his career. And you know, like Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson gave everybody a shot.
Yeah.
Reason why he wasn't able to fight Evander Holyfield at such an earlier date when he was supposed to was because he had a rib injury. Had to pull out. You know what I mean? By the time he was ready to sign again, he got jailed because of that Don King entrapment that happened with Desiree Washington, which we all know Mike Tyson did not rape that woman.
100.
So, you know, these guys have to, both of them, Joshua, Wilder, Joshua, these guys have to really look at themselves like the elite champions that they're claiming to be. They need to sit down like men themselves first and just basically come to an agreement. Look, we're both getting 125 mil by these Saudis and
Well,
whatever.
no, it's not. The Saudis haven't offered anyone other than AJ any money. What they're saying is for AJ versus it's AJ versus, I think it's AJ versus Wilder. The pot is something like 250. That's what I read.
Right.
Is that the actual figure? We don't know for sure, but that's the reputed figure. Now, my question is this. Out of 250, how would you, and I'm gonna answer the question myself first, and then I'll pass it around the table. For
All right.
250, how would I split that? Well, for me, I'm going 70, 30, or I'm going 70, 30. I'm going 65, 35. Let me just add up the math, make sure it makes sense. Yeah. I'm going 65, 35. 65 in favor of Joshua. And if anybody asks why, well, it's very, very simple. There's one guy who's been doing the heavy lifting. There's one guy who has been unifying.
Yes.
And there is another guy who has been doing neither of those things. And to that guy, I apportion 35%.
Good call.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. I'm saying, and I'm also saying, which guy has the WBA, WBO, IBF, and which guy just has had the one belt since he won it and hasn't added to it? And I'm saying the guy who's been doing the heavy lifting should get more. And not only should get more, the guy who's been doing the heavy lifting, we know, is the bigger economic commodity. The one with the bigger commercial value is the greater commodity. And I'm going to go over to Red Glove Militant. What's the split? What's the split you're talking about, Red Glove Militant? What's a fair split? I say 65, 35.
I agree. 65, 35. Like I said, they're professional athletes. I think, to me, just personally, and this is just my opinion. So if anybody feels it should be 60, 40 or give Wilder 25 or even less than that, I don't disagree. I can understand why you feel that way. But me personally, just in good conscience, I can't say that I think a professional athlete should get less than 35. I mean, they're spending time training. As much as I don't like Wilder, and I don't necessarily think he deserves that amount of money. He has to train. He has to be the dancing partner. He has a family that he has to look out for. So in good conscience, I would say 65, 35. And he should consider it that he won the lottery, because I can definitely see other people's point of view when they're saying he should get 25%. He should get 20%. People saying he should get 15%. I don't agree with it, but I can kind of see where they're coming from.
Right.
Yeah. Boxing Jedi. What's the split?
I would agree 60-40, but of course there's going to be a problem on Wilder's side as usual. So to call it even as a 50-50 split just to get this fight going and worry about who's the king after, I would say just give him a 50-50, shut his mouth up and just get him in the ring. Now, if there's no 50, if a 50, let's just say, gentlemen, on the panel and every fight fan that's in the comment section, if the Saudis come up with that money and these guys decide, okay, let's do a 50-50, and Wilder starts hollering and screaming because he does not get more than Joshua, then what can we call that? A price out?
Quack, quack.
You know?
Well, it's not the Saudis saying 50-50. That's Hearn.
I'm saying, but let's just say if Hearn does actually and Joshua actually agree and say, you know what, since let's just say the Saudis put up that money. Let's just say if they do, right? And then they leave the decision, right? And then Hearn says, okay, Joshua, what do you? And Joshua decides, okay, 50-50. Let's make this fight. Let's see if he's really real. I mean, there's no reason why Wilder has to kick and scream for this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but will Joshua say 50-50 though? Joshua's indicating how is it 50-50?
No, I'm saying I don't. Me personally, he's right. But if he really wants to fight, and if this needs to be made, you know what I mean? Then just give him the 50. Just split it down the middle. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to earn even more after you beat the chump. You know what I mean?
I agree. I know. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No.
I was just gonna say it's just for the sake of making the fight. You know what I mean? Just give him, because last time, if I'm not mistaken, a 50-50 was thrown in the air, right? And they were like, okay, so then we'll give you 50-50. Then what do you want to do? And then Wilder came out and said something about, we've got to fight here in America. Yeah. And he turned, so it's like excuse after excuse. So now, hopefully somebody will come up with this, and hopefully Joshua will say, let's do this. Here's your 50. Here's my 50, and then we can get it on. If Wilder kicks and screams after that, then what can we call that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But I agree with 60-40 though.
Yeah.
No,
Red Glove Militant.
Yeah, I just want to expound on that a little bit. I actually agree with him on, like, because you asked, like, what do I think the split should be? That's the 65-35 is what I'm sticking to. But I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to see any of that money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, the thing I care about the most is seeing the fight.
Yeah.
So if 50-50 is what it takes for to get Wilder's ass in the ring,
Right.
and I say go ahead and do it. Now, to answer Jay's question about, well, if they opt for 50-50 and he still has a problem, what do we say? We say it's a duck. Okay? For multiple reasons. Because one, they expected AJ to take 50 million. Right. Now, I'm no math genius. You know, I didn't take calculus in high school or anything like that. But I do know 125 million is way more than 50 million.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to say that AJ ducked him because he didn't take the 50 million and then he turns down the 125 million, that is a very hypocritical duck.
Yeah, I don't think my take on all of this, I don't think AJ is going to give him 50%, and nor should he, in my opinion. And I'll explain why. You just can't go through life giving away a portion of your weight.
True, very true. Very true.
I challenge anybody. I challenge any man born from his mother's womb. Tell me the occasion when they got their wage packet and they opened it up and they said to a colleague, you know what? I'm just going to give you some of this. I'm going to give you some of my money. It's never happened. I've never done it. You know,
I hear you. I feel
in the real world, what I'm saying is in the real world, who's going to throw away like 20 mil?
Right.
Who's just going to give away 20 mil? Let's be real. Who's just going to give away 20 million dollars, pounds, yen, euro? You be the judge. You decide who the hell is going to do that. Nobody's going to do that.
Well, I don't know. 20 million yen is like what, $5? So. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He said what? That's like $5 in Monopoly money.
Oh man. So really,
no, but I get your point. You're right. Like who
the hell do that? Who does that?
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
Yeah. Hey, Boardroom Bully. Pacquiao wanted the 50-50 and Mayweather never gave it to him. But you know what? He made up in the revenue. You know what I mean? So Pacquiao walked off with like, I think 180 mil and Mayweather walked away with like 200 mil, which is not really that short off, but you know what I mean? He got more than what he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, they made that fight. They told Mayweather, listen, you either make this fight or you're just going to lose out on this money.
Yeah. And to answer the question, why are we talking about Wilder and not Fury? Well, it could be Fury. Fury is in the equation. It could be Fury. But I think what was the Saudi? What was the wording of the Saudi? Was the Saudi offer directed to Wilder and Joshua? I mean Joshua and Wilder, or was it Joshua and Wilder stroke Fury? It could have been Joshua and Wilder stroke Fury. It could have been that too. But I would suspect if Fury was not on in that offer, I would suspect it would be because they would see Joshua versus Wilder as a more entertaining fight. That is my suspicion. Let me see what it says here. Saudis never said Wilder. Okay. Well, if they never said Wilder, then obviously Fury is included in that equation. So that's a short and simple answer.
There's still a good reason why we're not talking about Fury, though, and that is because, and it's not because there's no chance that Fury would win. There's definitely a chance that he could be the winner of that fight. The thing is, we don't have a track record to go off of when it comes to negotiations between AJ and Fury. It could be a fight that gets made immediately. You know, it could. We don't know what the negotiation tactic would be with Tyson Fury between AJ. You know, between them two. We do have a very extensive track record.
Yeah. Well, there is a precedent in between. There is a precedent for Joshua and Fury talks. There is a precedent, and Fury's been made an offer or the offer a couple of occasions, and his answer has always been, well, no. Earn said that they offered him 40%, and Fury said he wanted a specific cash amount. He wanted a specific cash. So Fury wasn't even talking about percentages, apparently. He was talking about a specific cash amount. Now, the landscape, if the Saudis are in the play, then I think that Fury might switch up and request a percentage. Yeah, because whatever figure he had in his mind, the Saudis might have a bigger figure. So now he will probably switch up and ask for a percentage. But Hearn and Wilder Fury have been in negotiations before. It was Hearn that was going to bring. Hearn made an offer, offered Fury a contract when he was coming back. When he's coming back after his retirement, Fury knows it's 50-50 with AJ. Yeah, so Hearn has tried to deal with Fury before, and to be honest, it was very similar to, well, it wasn't similar, but it wasn't easy. They could not come to terms, but they kept it behind closed doors. The difference with Deontay Wilder is he goes yap, and flapping those gums. That's the big difference betwixt the two. That is the difference betwixt the two. But I'll let you go around with your final sentence on the topic. Anything to add before we move along?
Yeah, definitely, man. Before I slide out, because I got dinner waiting for me, guys. Yeah. But I just want to say, man, I look, if people are saying get rid of the WBO, that's a mistake. And that's in any weight class. Obviously, PBC, they totally shut out, right? The WBO because of Terrence Crawford. So the welterweight division, the WBO welterweight title, that's boycotted over there, right? And then we've got now people wanting the WBO to not matter. People don't understand. This was made in '86, right?
Yeah.
Prestigious title. You know how many greats held that title? It's not like if that's just some golden boy title or some peanut butter and cream cheese made up title. No, this is the WBO, Jack. This is the title that helped Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Yep.
Open Showtime.
Yes.
Boxing. You understand what I'm saying? The WBO is a very prestigious title. So those that are going out there saying to get rid of the WBO, the World Boxing Organization, you must be out of your mind. Stop looking in the Crackerjack box for boxing thoughts and start watching pure hardcore boxing and understand the science and the politics behind it, especially when it comes to that straps, because it's supposed to be about straps.
Yeah.
The money comes with your work ethic. That's what's supposed to happen.
100.
All right, guys. So otherwise than that, man, God bless you, Raph. Regular Miller. I'm Boxing Jack. And England, I love you. No doubt. Peace, fellas.
Thank you. That was the Boxing Jedi coming over to spend some time with you. It's got his own channel, as has the Red Gloved Huckleberry. I just noticed that. Okay, so we've still got the Red Glove Militant with us for a little while yet, so let's take advantage of that opportunity and go right on ahead with the next topic. Damn, I found it first time. Let me just move this along so I know exactly where it is. There it is. It's right there. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, there it is. So Alejandra, how do you pronounce that? Jimenez says, as you know, Alejandra Jimenez She's recently won a super middleweight crown title fight, rather. And she's a female. She's a female. And she has recently, just last week gone, popped dirty for the steroid stanozolol, something of that nature. The pad has come back alive. Let me turn down the volume on the pad because I know it's going to go crazy with messages now. Okay, there we are. We're good. Okay, so Alejandra Jimenez continues as the super middleweight world champion. Meanwhile, the World Boxing Council conducts an investigation procedure in connection with the report of the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, aka VADA, which informed that an A sample collected on January the 10th gave an adverse finding for the banned steroid stanozolol, which is strictly prohibited under the WBC clean boxing program. Okay, so on January the 11th, Jimenez won a close 10-round split decision over Franchon Cruz Dezern to capture the WBC, WBO super middleweight titles. Okay, so we see Jimenez there kissing the belt, and the thing which becomes blatantly obvious. Well, actually, hold on. I need to bring up the some pictures I've saved already. Actually, we'll come to that picture in a second. So there is Jimenez. There is Jimenez as I continue with the article. So Mauricio Suleiman, head of the WBC, World Boxing Council, touched on the issue yesterday morning. Okay, when Jimenez requested the opening of the B sample, the sanctioning head indicated that, as is usual in similar situations, the WBC will provide additional information as the investigation and the adjudication process progresses. So Suleiman explained that this procedure with the analysis of the B sample, it can be credibly proven that it was an error. He explained that with this procedure, it can potentially be proved to be an error. In the WBC, the fight against doping has no limits, yada, 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 yada. Steroids have a certain period. Also, this is what Jimenez says. Jimenez explained that since 2019, she had decided to belong to the WBC's clean boxing program. She went on to say she believes there can't be any way that stanozolol was in her system based on the testing evidence. Steroids have a certain period of time in the body, and a certain period of time for detection. If the tests on December the 15th gave a negative result, and those performed on January the 10th gave a positive result, it is assumed that during the period of December to the 15th of January, I had to have used steroids. But the thing is that it has a detection time. It has an approximate detection time of 3 months, Jimenez said. And if that is the case, it would have shown positive on the January 11th test, which is only a 12-hour difference from me taking the test on, what she's saying, January 11th, January 15th. Well, that's more than 12 hours. Okay, so it's all a mess. The article is written very sloppily, but Jimenez ultimately is maintaining her innocence. The problem for Jimenez, well, there are a number of problems for Jimenez, but the suspicion, should I say, with Jimenez is that as you see on the screen right there. That's how she looks right now. But the problem, or a problem, is that this is how she used to look. This is how she used to look. So she went from looking like a very tubby, portly, round lady to ultimately looking like a male. She looks like a male triathlon athlete. And it makes it, people were speculating way before this. People have been speculating way before the way before the fight, since the body transformation, that something is going on with Jimenez. Very suspicious, but we don't know. We're going to have to wait for the test results. Red Glove Militant, what's your take on this scenario? Sing.
I mean, it Exhibit A and Exhibit B are very overwhelmingly compelling. Like it I mean, is it possible that maybe she was able to cut the weight? Is that when she was in the heavyweight division? I'm honest with boxing.
No, me neither.
I'll say this: I don't go out. If it's an undercard, Amanda Serrano can be on the undercard. So I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But I don't say, Katie Taylor's fighting this weekend. Watch that. You know what I'm saying? Throw that out there. So I don't the boxing, but my understanding heavyweight division back in 2017 and lose. That's 2 years to lose that weight.
Yeah.
But the thing that's very alarming is how she didn't just lose weight; she lost weight and became very masculine. So that's what's very alarming to me. And I maybe I need to go and listen to some interviews from back when she was a heavyweight and see how her voice sounds, because she sounds very.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because if she sounded more like a woman a couple years ago, because that shouldn't change all that much. I mean, you're gonna sound more or less the same.
Yeah.
If you're 100 pounds heavier, 100 pounds lighter, you'll sound a little bit different, but not. It shouldn't be too much. She sounds like a man.
Okay, I've never heard her speak.
I'm not saying that to be mean. Yeah, if you look up reviews now, she only speaks Spanish, so and I actually don't speak Spanish, but
I don't think you need to know.
I know what a man sounds like. Yeah. So she sounded, if you're intrigued enough, go ahead and check out some of her recent interviews. I'm intrigued now because I didn't think to look up her interviews from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Some interviews before she lost the weight and see if she sounds more ladylike, because I'm telling you, listen to her posts or just any recent interview. Sounds very much like a man.
Damn.
In the voice and everything. So, and I mean, this is to the point where people thought she was actually transgender, male to female. And of course, she's a woman, was born a woman, born female. I've heard that she has bore her own children. So
I've heard that.
Born a female. But she looks looks like. And like I said, if you hear her voice, yes, it definitely sounds like she's on testosterone. And this is what I'll say. It's a very dangerous sport, male or female. male or female. It's a very dangerous sport. Okay, if the men are not allowed to take testosterone or anything that's got testosterone, I think it's only fair that the women should not be allowed to take that either. I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about equal rights, and I get that. This is equal. This is fair treatment. Men, you're not allowed to take testosterone. Women, you're not allowed to take testosterone either. It's a competitive edge thing. So that's how I see it. From what I know, she is a woman that was born female.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have to take a look at some of those interviews from a couple years ago and see if she's because it's possible that she just naturally sounds, unfortunately you don't get to pick how you look, what skin color you are or how you sound or any of that stuff. And I mean, it's all superficial when you think about it, so it really shouldn't matter. But if she sounded like a woman before she lost all that weight and all of a sudden she's sounding more and she's starting to pass from I mean you know what I'm saying? You have to use your judgment,
Yeah. Yes.
Sport.
Yes. Hell of a dangerous sport. So I was asked a very interesting question. I was asked, how long has this transition taken? And I can show you here. Unfortunately, I don't have to blow this thing up. Don't have to blow. Hold on. What am I showing here? Am I sharing this? I thought I was sharing. Okay, I see what the problem is. Un momento. Let me get that picture off, and so you can see what I'm showing you. Okay, so the question was asked, how long? What's been the time period of this transformation? So I see that in 2017, the 8th August 2017. What's her name? Alejandro or Alexandra Jimenez. I see that in August of 2017, she was fighting at heavyweight title. She was heavyweight. That was a year and a half ago. And then now she's super middleweight. So the picture you see, the light picture you see, where is it? There it is. Boom. So that picture is of her now. This picture is of her, 2 years ago. So the transformation has been an 18-month, year and a half transformation. In my opinion, with the deep voice, although I'm gonna have to go and find out what she sounded like before. It looks like it don't look good. It don't look good. It looks like what it looks like. And what it looks like is, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it looks like steroids. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. Steroids. Okay, so where are we on this chat? Where are we on the chat? Let's come out of that. Boom. Get back into the comments. Okay. Wild Soul up in the building. Tanaris Robinson up in the building. Okay, so smash that like button, folks. If you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. What else? What other buttons are there? Like, subscribe. Yeah, you're all commenting. And for sure, if you're on Facebook, you can share it on Facebook. You can share it on various social media platforms, if not all social media platforms. You see a video, you like it, boom, tweet it. Share it on Twitter. You know where the share button is on the videos. You know where the share button is on the videos. It's just underneath the picture frame. So go ahead, share the stuff. She sounded masculine to me. Well, I'm gonna have to go and check that out. I'm gonna have to check that out because Red Glove Militant got me curious. It's got me curious right about now. Okay, so I think we still got Red Glove Militant for a little bit. Have we still got you for a little bit, Red Glove Militant,
Sure
or are you
do.
running?
No,
Okay,
I'm good for
that's
now. I'm not going nowhere.
Excellente. Good to have a Red Glove Militant for an extended period of time. Go ahead and smash that like button. Okay, so what we
Yeah,
got here?
and can I plug you a
Yeah.
little bit more? Make sure
Yeah.
social media platforms. If you got a eHarmony, put the link to the channel in your eHarmony account. Say I am a fan of boxing and I listen to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. All so
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 100%. Okay, so I got the pad working now, so I should theoretically have some. Yeah, there we go. That's super duper up like. Oh, what's going on there? Gotta turn down the volume on this. I'm hearing myself twice. Okay, we're good. We're in good shape. Right, let's go to the next topic. Where are we? What is that there? What is that there? Okay, we're gonna have to touch on. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so did you see the here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Is that it? Right there? No. Oh yeah. Damn it. I just accidentally closed. I just accidentally closed a window. So, but anyway, we can talk about it. It's Jarrett Hurd versus, what was that cat's name we fought? Jarrett Hurd versus, I can find that. I can find it real quick. I can find that.
Francisco Santana.
That's the one. That's the one. Jarrett Hurd versus Francisco Santana. I can tell you my views on it. It was, I had it playing. I started watching it. Red Glove Militant. I started watching it, but you know what I did after a while? I just left it playing like it was some kind of background music. You know, elevator music? You know, elevator music? I just had that fight playing in the background like elevator music, like chamber music. What's your take on that fight? Did you watch it?
Yeah, very unremarkable performance.
Yeah. It was highly unremarkable.
I mean, if I have a hard time going to sleep tonight, it'll do me better than if you're having a hard time falling asleep, just put on that Hurd Santana fight and you'll be out like a bulb.
Damn. Hell yeah. And but I can go one better than that. If you're having a hard time sleeping tonight, put on the Danny Garcia versus Ivan Redchak. Put that one on too. Put that one on directly after, and you'll be out like a lamp. You'll be out like a lamp.
Also very how do you have somebody who bites the other fight here and then it's still be a boring fight?
It was just it was the epitome of elevator music. It was the elevator music of boxing. Okay, I'm getting a lot of talk about the coronavirus. Let's touch on that. The coronavirus, I have not extensively researched the thing. I don't watch TV. So the only things I know are the only things I look into, or if somebody mentions it to me. Somebody mentioned it to me, but I have not studied the coronavirus pandemic, but quite a few people are raising it to me. I may read an article later. The pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. Let's do this in real time. Let's do this in real time. Several people have mentioned the virus today. So let's go coronavirus. Latest. Okay, so what's the latest with, let me share my screen. Let me not be selfish. Let me not be selfish. Okay, so looking at the coronavirus. What you need to know about the coronavirus 1 hour ago. Okay, so don't allow. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Let's go back. People trying to trap me. Entrapment. Okay, let's go over to this one. Okay, China to send 2,500 more medical workers to Wuhan as death toll from coronavirus raises. While CDC confirms 5 cases in the US. Okay, we got 5 cases in the US. Now, this is interesting. I don't know if this is a man or a woman. Okay, it looks like a man. Now that this transgender thing is increasing, maybe not. Confirmed cases of Wuhan coronavirus. What is this? This is in China. This is in China. I imagine the people who have got it in America come from China. Wuhan province. Wuhan travel restricted. Okay, so it looks like they're restricting with a possible as 44,000 people possibly infected in Wuhan alone. According to his team's research models, Wuhan recommended that officials take substantial draconian measures to contain the virus, including canceling large gatherings, closing schools, and asking office workers to work from home. Chinese officials have shut down travel in and out of Wuhan, home to 11 million people, and enacted similar strict transportation restrictions in a number of other cities. Immigration authorities say no passengers have left the Chinese mainland over the past 4 days through the Wuhan Tai International Airport or Hankou Port. Okay, so basically my view is you got to shut it down. We can't have the virus spreading around. So we got to basically shut down. We got to shut down travel in and out, not just of in and out of Wuhan province, but probably the surrounding provinces. And matter of fact, if you want to get real draconian with it, you can just say no more travel out of China, in or out. Certainly no more travel in and out of Wuhan or the surrounding provinces. This is serious shizzle. So yeah, probably, yeah, you got to shut down travel out of Wuhan. No one from Wuhan or its surrounding provinces can travel out of Wuhan, its surrounding provinces, and certainly not out of China. What's going on? What's being said around here? What is being said around me? Around here, I mean. Okay, so what is what's going on? Let me scroll in. I'm scrolling. Okay, there's a lot. Africa better be careful with its open borders with China. That's for sure. Thalamus Lofi says coronavirus is nothing. Damn. Africa is a continent, and not every African country's borders China. It doesn't need to. That's the power of viruses. It's a trending pandemic. Mongolia and several other countries have been closing their borders. China is undergoing draconian measures to prevent it. Tell me which African countries has open border policy with China? Africa doesn't even open border policies. Okay, Africa. Okay. This is interesting. Champ Ross up in the building and says, I watched paint dry on Saturday. It was more exciting than Garcia Radic. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Radic, Garcia Radic, that was next level. That was next level on the boredom scale. Okay, I just read a couple of articles. It's very serious, potentially worse than SARS. I remember SARS. Coronavirus is the first virus to spread before symptoms, showing a host. That's very interesting. Very interesting. And yes. In comes the man like Phil Walker. Phil Walker, how are you doing, my friend? Phil Walker up in the building. Go ahead, Phil. How you doing?
Can you hear me, Ralph?
I can hear you now.
I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing very well, man. Happy to be on the show.
100%. What's on your mind, Phil? What's on your mind? What's the first thing that's on your mind?
First thing that's on my mind, and I don't know if you got to this topic, Danny Garcia, man. Danny Garcia, and right now, Jamal Charlo, man. That's what's on my mind right now.
Danny Garcia and Charlo. What you think it's time? You think time is overdue?
For Charlo, absolutely. For Charlo, absolutely. And Ralph, you know, I come on your show and you know I advocate for those guys.
Yeah.
Both brothers, right? But now I'm specifically talking about Jamal.
Okay.
You know, I advocate for those guys. You know, those guys are Houstonians. I live here in Houston. I support those guys 110%.
Yeah.
But right now, at this very tenure, I think he needs to make the Andrade fight. I think that fight needs to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be very disappointed, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, everybody keeps talking about, you know, him making the fight with AJbxng Jr. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a good fight. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Ralph?
Yeah.
Do you think if Eddie Hearn goes to AJbxng and offers him, because right now AJbxng has a belt, he's a champion currently, okay?
Yeah.
If you think Eddie Hearn goes to AJbxng and offers him a significant amount of money to go and fight Andrade, do you think is any hesitation? Do you think is any doubt?
No hesitation whatsoever, no stalling, no doubting, no hesitation. AJbxng Jr. would say, where do I sign?
Exactly. So this is my deal right here. Okay. Right now, Charlo and Charlo and his team, Al Heyman, of course, and AJbxng is also on that side of the street now. Okay. They're saying, okay, well, it's probably going to be an in-house fight. That's what they say. But Shields has already came out and said that they have no interest in that fight. Okay. Now, me, I'm going to put my promoter hat on, okay? If I'm Eddie Hearn, you tell me you don't have any interest in that fight, guess what I'm going to do? I'm finna come and try to get that other strap. And we're going to have essentially three straps on our side of the street. That's not right now. It's split down 2 and 2, correct? Charlo has one, Eubanks has one,
Yeah.
Triple G has one, and who has the other one?
Who has the other belt? Who has the other belt?
I want to say it's a DAZN fighter though. Andrade.
Isn't it Canelo?
Yeah, Andrade.
Andrade.
Oh yeah,
Andrade.
That's right. We're talking about sick. Yeah.
Andrade. So guess what? If I've got my promoter hat on, if Ronnie Shield comes out and said we're not interested in the Chris Eubanks fight, if I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm immediately going to Chris Eubanks. I'm giving him a title shot, and I'm going to pay him handsomely. And guess what? We all know. I'm just going to speak from a historical standpoint. Okay, Eubanks does not show up in the big fight. That's historically what's happened to him. Okay. Now I'm not saying that he can't beat Andrade, but what I'm saying historically, if you're just a betting man, you go look at history. Eubanks doesn't show up in the big fight. So now you're risking the chance of, if you're PBC, you're risking the chance that you could potentially lose one of the belts that's in your stable.
Yeah.
So if you're Charlo, you need to try to make that fight, because at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn is going to outbid PBC in that particular fight, because that's just they don't pay those 160-pound guys out the wazoo, right? So Eddie Hearn can easily overpay for that fight just to get the belt. So Charlo, hey man, look, if he's coming out and he's saying that Eddie never sent me an offer, you know what I say? Call his bluff then. Call his bluff. Say, okay, get on. Don't say go holler at my people. Don't say none of that. Say, okay, well, Eddie, guess what? You want to give me $7 million for this fight? Send me the paperwork today. I'll get my people to look over it. If it looks good, I'm signing. I'm signing. Send it right now. Send it right now. Call Eddie's bluff if you think he's lying. Call his bluff. But you know what? That's not what you're saying. That's not what you're saying. You too cool. Send the paperwork. Send the paperwork to my people. Let my people look over it. Man, screw that, bro.
Yeah, let me interrupt. Let me interrupt you for a second, okay? Just for the listeners, the top guys at middleweight right about now. The top guys at middleweight are Saul Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, Chris Eubank Jr., Jamal Charlo, Sergey Derevchenko. So those are the guys we're talking about. Are we talking about middle or super middle?
We're talking about middle right now, 160.
Yeah, okay. So that's those are the players. Those are the head players at 160. Saul Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, Jamal Charlo, Chris Eubank Jr., Jamie Mongaya, Sergey Demetrius Andrade, and Sergey Derevchenko. Those are the top guys at middle right now. And so we're looking at, you're saying, Phil, that you want Charlo to go ahead and fight Andrade. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Charlo needs to fight Andrade right now.
Okay.
Better time than never. I feel as though if he doesn't, he will let this opportunity slip through his hands, and he may not get a chance, at least not for this kind of money. He needs to fight him for his legacy, as well as a very nice payday for him. But what I'm saying, look, this is what I'm saying right here. Even if it's not $7 million, I don't think Charlo got $8 million for his last fight. At least not his purse. I understand that they get money on the back end, right?
Yeah.
But if Eddie Hearn can come in and offer you a guaranteed amount, a guaranteed purse, and it's significant, I think you should take it.
Yeah, but we've seen with the PBC model though, Phil. We've seen with the PBC model, they're not interested in out of house fights. They're only interested primarily in in-house fights. They're not interested in entertaining or giving the paying boxing public what they want to see. They have a TV deal, which we know about. They have to furnish. They have to come up with a number of fights per year. That probably there may be something in the contract that they have to come up with a number of championship fights per year. PBC are not in the public pleasing business, is my response to that. Red Glove Militant. Oh no, is Red Glove still here? Is Red Glove Militant stop sharing? Maybe he's away from the mic at the moment. Okay.
Are you able to hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you now. Jamel Charlo versus Andrade. Red Glove Militant.
Like, do I think he should make that fight?
Why is it not happening? It's there. The offer's been made.
Well, not supposedly not an official offer.
It's not an official offer, but the invitation there is open.
You need to call his bluff. That's why I say you need to call his bluff.
Yeah, Eddie says he wants it. The offer's there. They don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'll be honest, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's not happening. Like, it's a good legacy fight. It's a unification. From my understanding, even though it was not like an official offer, my understanding was like $7 million. So it's good.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason why not to take.
Yeah. What did you know? Well, my theory is that it's a PBC thing. It's a PBC thing. They're not interested. They're interested in holding on to their champions, and when they do have a championship fight, it's with it's with one PBC guy versus another PBC guy. They're not interested in legacy. They want the cash. Big Al clearly has a game plan, and it's not about legacy. It's clearly Deontay Wilder shows you it's not about legacy.
Yeah, because he turned down a hefty sum of money, and he's not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one good not to get off topic, but one good example is Adrian Broner. He has turned down big sums of money multiple amounts of time. And recently he's been asking the fans to donate to his Cash App. And there's no reason why that should be. There's no reason why that should be happening if he,
Okay, Red Glove Militant.
Why would he be nice to turn down what?
Red Glove Militant, you're cutting in and out, my friend. You're cutting in and out. Your signal is failing you, Red Glove Militant. You're cutting in and out, my friend. I think your signal.
Am I better now?
Yeah, keep talking. Yeah, repeat what you said beforehand. You was doing the breakdown of.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, he, if I'm not mistaken, he turned down like $40 million from $40 million offer from Rock Nation.
Big money.
And it I can't blame you for saying you think it's a PBC thing.
Yeah.
Because you got Wilder, who turned down the $120 million. You got Adrian Broner, who turned down $40 million, now begging fans for money. You got Tank Davis. Didn't he turn? If I'm not mistaken, he turned down like $10 million to fight Farmer, and then came with a counteroffer of $2 million. If I'm not mistaken,
something like that. It's crazy.
It does seem like it's a PBC thing. Like, I mean, we could be wrong. I'm not gonna, because there are some people who will say that it's 100 things. Almost, we're seeing that a lot of these PBC guys are turning down big money and then turning around and making less. Danny Garcia, we were just talking about that fight. He turned down $3 million to fight for $1 million.
Yes.
And if you look into, and you might say, well, Bud is a harder fight. Okay, so let's look at the championship fights that he had in recent memory. If when he fought
Okay.
Porter,
Okay, you're cutting up again, Red Glove. You're cutting up again.
he fought him for $1.25 million, and when he fought, can you hear me?
No, you're cutting up. You're cutting up pretty bad. You're cutting up every other word, Red Glove Militant. You're cutting up every other word.
What about now?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're still cutting up every other word, bro.
Okay.
I'm hearing you. Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah. You gotta keep on talking though, because to see what the signals.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is better. Okay, so what I was saying is I looked into it, and the persons that were reported for his fight with Porter was 1.25 million to fight Porter, and his reported purse to fight Keith Thurman was 2 million. So that means Terrence Crawford being, and keep in mind, these are all title fights we're talking about. Yeah. He offered to pay him almost what he made in those two fights combined down to fight for 1 million. So that's another instance of C fighter turning down a larger sum of money to fight for less. And let's not forget Luis Ortiz turning down 7 million to fight for who knows how. I mean, it's pretty. So I can't blame you for thinking it's a PBC thing. I honestly don't know what it is. That's a good. That's a good enough assumption as any other.
Yo, look, man. The Luis Ortiz thing. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. He did turn down a massive payday to fight AJ, but I'm glad he did, man, because
Why?
Because AJ, look, man, we can all see when he at the fight with Wilder, when he went up into the ring, we all could see that he was out of shape. Okay, we all know he has endurance problems. AJ wouldn't have got the best Luis Ortiz that night, and guess what? He would have destroyed him, man. And I'm just gonna be honest, and Ralph, you know Ortiz is my guy. You know this. But as me being the guy that I am, I'm always honest and authentic when I go on anybody's show. And at the end of the day, would he have gotten paid? Yeah. Would he have lost the fight? I think so, because I don't think he would have been ready in that amount of time. And that's just my opinion.
But he said he stays in the gym.
Look, man. It doesn't matter what he say. I'm telling you. Andy Ruiz said he was in training camp too, and we've seen how he looked against Anthony Joshua. So at the end of the day, it's not about being in the gym. It's what you're doing while you're in the gym. You can be that son of a gun watching TV all day.
Phil, I'm just messing with you. It's all in good fun. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, but here's the thing, though. Why isn't Luis Ortiz doing what he needs to do? Version of himself, though. That's the question that I have to ask.
Well, look. This is the real and honest answer to that. Right now, you have a generation of fighters that don't live the lifestyle. They don't decide to start to get ready until they have a fight that they have to prepare for. But the great fighters, the guys that we see like Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, all those guys, they stay ready to fight at any given time. It's a lifestyle for them. They're living a certain kind of lifestyle to prepare their body for, basically, they're making the ultimate sacrifice for their body and training and for their craft. Guys guys, a lot of guys just don't do that now. You know, a lot of guys just don't do that. And it's not just Louis Ortiz. You know, I mean, you know, look, Dillian White, Kell Brook, you know, Keith Thurman, Adrian Broner, Tank Davis.
Well, hold on. Let's not get distracted though. Let's not get distracted because
guys don't make the sacrifice, man.
because hold on. Let's not get distracted though, because we're really talking about PBC not accepting out of camp, out of, you know, into promotional fights, into promotional championship fights. That's what it really boils down to. PBC, Al Heyman, they're not accepting into promotional championship fights, and that's what's holding the whole damn thing up. And I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Well, let me say this, Ralph, before I jump off. I'm about to clock in a minute.
Yeah,
I will say this. I think their strategy, I don't see anything wrong with their strategy in the 147-pound division, because they have enough fighters in order to make the fights that we want to see.
Yeah.
And guys still have an opportunity to make money and become.
They got Spain.
They got in 147.
Yeah.
But outside of 147, no, I don't think it makes a whole bunch of sense to implement that strategy of just trying to have in-house fights. And you know what I call it? Try and have the PBC circuit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that in all the other divisions. 147, you can. So I can see why people would think that about the PBC, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel like it's some element of them saying it's our way or no way. Absolutely, 110%. But you know, I do have faith that in some instances, and I'm not gonna say in all instances, those guys do have a strategy to you know, build a legacy and big paydays for their fighters. But again, right now, the only division that it makes sense to be in is the 147-pound division. I think they can implement that strategy, but all the other ones, the belts are shared throughout different promotional companies. And, you know, I want to see the big fights, man, especially the Andrade and Charlo fight, because I support Charlo and he needs to fight this guy, because I am afraid that this opportunity will slip by him, and that's not good for a fighter. You have to seize the opportunities. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come on the show. Speak my piece. Jamal Charlo, please accept that fight. Call Eddie Hearn's bluff. Make it publicly. You say you want to pay me $7 million, send me the contract today. We'll look over it. If it look good, I'm signing the fight. That's what I want to hear you say. I don't want to hear you say you're not interested. Make it happen. I'll holler at you guys later.
Yes. Thank you. That was Phil Walker taking the time out of his day to join us before work. And much appreciation goes out to Phil Walker. Still got Red Glove Militant with us up in the house. It's been a long time since we've had Red Glove Militant up in here for so long. It's very, very good of you. Appreciate that. Smash that like button, folks. Hit that subscribe button for those who have not done so. Share the videos which you like on your social media platforms. And we just found out that Lisa Bayliss does not have Facebook. So there's some information there for you folks. Again, a lot of information. Broner also dissed Eddie Hearn. He dissed the Hearn deal. Yeah, dissed the Hearn deal. We know that. That's for sure. The puppet master behind all these shenanigans.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He did, for sure. Puppet master being Al Heyman. And we know why. It's no surprise. He's got TV deals, and he wants to hold on to all the championship belts that he's got. And you may say, well, hold on. Andy Ruiz is PBC. Well, he recently became PBC, but he was not a blue chip PBC. That's why they loaned him out. They said, yeah, go on over, fight Joshua. We got nothing to lose. And then, bam, he won it. And then the next thing you know, he lost it.
I have to tell you, I heard one of the worst excuses for Andy Ruiz losing the rematch, and I think you'll get a good chuckle out of this. This guy told me That's why they did the rematch clause. They knew that he wasn't going to be ready for the rematch. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me that he was more with in the first fight where he only had like 6 weeks, whereas in the second fight he had 6 months.
6 months.
They knew he wasn't gonna be ready. Like that doesn't hear all kinds of excuses.
Well, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. That's a good one. They knew he wasn't going to be ready, so he had 6 months to get ready when previously he had 5 to 6 weeks. But 6 months wasn't enough time to get ready. That is utterly bizarre, preposterous, and quite frankly,
That's
outrageous. But I will. That is excessive. That is excessive reaching. But you know something? Well, I'm not going to go into that show because we're coming to the end of this show. We're coming close to the end. I just want to get through a couple more comments, maybe do another quick topic, and then we are out. We beat out. So Nissan Boxing says, I still remember when Al Heyman made Kid Chocolate vacate his belt because Al didn't want him fighting whoever it was. Can't remember who it was. That's when I realized Kid Chocolate.
I think it was Triple G.
Damn. Kid Chocolate.
I think that's who it was.
Damn. PBC fighters are doing it, so it's a PBC thing. Yeah, I agree with that. The guy is mentally compromised by the LD. I don't know what you're talking about there, my friend. The PBC is poison. Marla up in the building. Marla's up in the building. And PBC are poison. People want to see Crawford versus Spence. Yeah, big time. Big time. That's but you know, I mean, Spence, PBC have been clear that apparently that fight ain't happening anytime soon. Heyman really tried to pull Ruiz out of that rematch. I remember that. The stalling. We're the inside now. We're the inside now. We're the bosses. I'm not going to fight for less than $50 million. I need $50 million to fight for that. And then after the fight, I'd like to apologize to my trainer, my father, my team. I think I came in a little bit heavy. So, you know, what can one say? Ruiz lost because he doesn't have the discipline or maturity to be a professional fighter. Have you seen my video, Red Glove Militant? The latest one, I think it's called Ruiz Talks Trilogy, AJ Trilogy. Have you seen that one? Anybody who's not seen
to, yeah.
Yeah, it's only a 5-minute one. It's a quick one, but anybody who hasn't seen that video, what's it called? It's called. Oh, I'm there again. I'm in different places. I'm going into different windows and seeing me. Where is it? I'm gonna bring it. Gonna do a quick screen share, so you know what thumbnail to look out for. Where is it? Yeah, let me do a quick screen share because that's certainly one. It's a fun one. And definitely one to view. There it is. Andy Ruiz Talks Trilogy Fight with Anthony Joshua. Check it out after the show. If you remember, it's a good one. It's a 5-minute one. It's a quick one. And we are still in the chat. We're still in the chat. It was quite funny how Wilder was talking about an undisputed bout with Ruiz. Wilder thought he's going to get it on with Ruiz. It's funny how certain people thought it was going to be a formality. It was going to be a formality that Ruiz was going to beat Joshua the second time around. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of us were concerned that Joshua was doing it straight away. I was slightly concerned, but clearly Joshua knew what the mistakes were in the first count, and he knew how to rectify it. You had to rectify it. So everyone looked at Ruiz like he was lunch, even Pulev. Everyone looked at. I'm not getting that. Don't quite get it. That video sums up Ruiz perfect. Yeah, Marla's in that video. Marla commented on that video. So remember that Andy Ruiz video. Andy Ruiz, what does it say? Andy Ruiz talks trilogy fight with Anthony Joshua. Marla says that video sums up Ruiz perfectly. I really think it does. I really think it captures the man's essence. Boxing Squared in the video, in the building. I saw Ruiz was talking in the Dank City episode that came out about negotiating for a third fight. Exactly. Yeah, that's the video I made. Yeah. What third fight? Exact a mundo. A complete and utter lunacy on the part of Ruiz, talking about all his flossing, all his spending. You remember I did videos on his flossing and people thought, oh, Rafi, it don't matter. Let the man spend his money. Yeah, the man can spend his money, but when you're spending so much money, are you telling me you just randomly spend it, or is your mind focused on it? I think your mind's focused on what you're doing, and what he was doing was splurging. He was flossing, and that's where his head was at. His head wasn't in the gym, and his body.
Yeah.
And
here's the other. Here's
yeah, carry on.
All I was gonna say is that here he was spending money like that's the kind of purse he's been getting, and that wasn't the case. You know, that was the only purse. And then he ended up getting an even larger purse in the rematch, but now he lost. I mean, he probably won't go back. Anywhere between 50,000 to 300,000 a fight. I'm pretty sure he'll do better than that.
He'll do better.
But it's not going to be the 7 or the 13 million that he made with Anthony Joshua. So,
yeah,
well, all heard him say it out of his own mouth. We don't have.
He's haggling and he's stalling about the Dillian White offer. You know, he's had multi. There's a few million in it for him, but he's haggling and he's stalling to the point where they've upped it. Matchroom have upped the offer. We don't know what the figure is, but we do know it's a matter of millions. And he's haggling and he's stalling, and he's haggling and stalling with it. He's still going to be in the millions. He's still going to be in the millions with Matchroom. Domestically over in the USA, I don't see many domestic fights where he's going to pull in big paydays. I really don't see it. So he's still going to, he's good for this next fight. He's good with his Matchroom fights. You know, they'll bring him over. This is the guy that beat AJ. They'll bring him over to the UK. He'll get a few mil for it. As a matter of fact, he will pretty much, in my opinion, he will pretty much be almost like a Matchroom fighter. He could become almost like, he'll be working for the PBC, but his paychecks are going to be coming from Matchroom if he plays his cards right. You know, because he could beat Dillian. If he comes in shape, he could beat Dillian White. And then you saw it work with Joseph Parker.
Especially if Dillian White comes in out of shape.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn. If he comes in out of shape and Park and Ruiz comes in shape, then, you know, to me, Ruiz is the winner. But you see how it worked out with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker came over, fought Joshua. Next thing you know, they've got a good relationship going. He comes over, he fights Dillian White. Next thing you know, he's signed to the zone. So if Ruiz doesn't get too greedy, he could have the similar relationship with DAZN as Joseph Parker forged. You know what I'm saying? But once again, he's just the way he's conducting himself. He wants more money versus Dillian. They've upped the money, and now they're talking. Hopefully he accepts it, win, lose, or draw. Andy Ruiz when he trains, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And so I hope the Dillian fight gets made. I hope he takes it. Win, lose, or draw. I hope he gets in shape, takes the fight. And I think that fight will have to be in the UK. That fight will be in the UK. And it will be interesting. It will be interesting if that relationship, if they can get that deal done, and then we could be seeing Andy Ruiz over here in the UK, you know, once every 6 months. Once every 6 months. But the video, anybody who hasn't seen my video on Andy Ruiz, go check it out. But according to that video, the way he's sounding on the video, he's talking about buying a plot of land. They bought a plot of land. They're going to be building, what is it, 60 houses? Did he say 60 houses? It's going to be building 60 houses on it. His father's a builder. His father's a builder. So what it seems like to me is that his mind is on everything and anything except boxing. Boardroom bullies. What was the excuse? You're really trying hard with your excuses. What was the excuse? What was the excuse? What excuses are you? Oh my gosh, that's funny. What excuses, boardroom bully? What excuses are we talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking. I couldn't figure it out.
I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Oh, you tell me about Ruiz. True potential if it wasn't for his excuses. I think Ruiz is a bad style matchup for White, but don't think it happens. Sounds like Povetkin White is all but sewn up. Yeah, I think I agree. It's a tricky matchup. Ruiz v White, it's not necessarily a favorable matchup for White at all. I agree with you there. Boxing Squared. And yeah, it's most likely going to be Povetkin. We tossed around some ideas and around here a few shows ago, and we said we liked the idea of White versus Otto Wallin. But it seems like Otto Wallin's gonna signed up. Hold on, I've heard it somewhere. I've seen it somewhere. Lucas Brown. Otto Wallin will be fighting Lucas Brown, if my memory serves me correctly. I think I've seen that somewhere. But we like the idea. I like the idea of White versus Wallin, since Tyson Fury had just fought him. I think that would have been a good idea. I don't know if Eddie missed the. I don't know if Eddie. What do you call it when the ball slips out of your hand? I don't know if Eddie dropped the ball on that one. Should have got Wallin in. Should have been White versus Wallin. I think that would have been entertaining, and more entertaining fight than Povetkin. Povetkin, dangerous dude. Should have gone with Wallin. Dillian White's already got the WBC. He's already the WBC mandatory. You don't really necessarily need to be taking such risky fights. I think the Povetkin fight is a trickier fight than the Wallin fight, clearly, in my eyes. I think Wallin, even though he's a southpaw, he's long and rangy. So I think he could do with getting some working with them long, rangy guys. I think Wallin would have been a better pick, even though he's a southpaw. Red Glove Militant. What say you?
What about White?
Yeah. Well, White. It's White. I mean, the proposed fight is White. The proposed fight is White versus Ruiz. White versus Ruiz. White versus Povetkin. And for a while there, we thought that we liked the idea of White versus Otto Wallin. But Otto Wallin is now, I think, he's fighting Lucas Brown, unless I'm mistaken. But I think I've seen it somewhere. So
yeah, I saw something about that too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's official yet, but it looks like.
Yeah, looks like it's definitely in the making, if not official yet. So it looks like it's going to be White versus Povetkin because you know what Ruiz is like. He's going to mess around and he's going to, well, I don't know. We're the inside now. I don't know. Ruiz is going to stall and mess about.
I don't know. He may want to go ahead and take whatever they're. He may want to go ahead and take what they're offering them because we don't have to struggle anymore, So, and they're not PBC like they're gonna pay him at Matchroom.
Yeah, he's gonna be getting some some proper money. Ruiz should fight White and save White from getting killed. Oh man, Wild Soul always coming with those LDB style jokes. I know he said he's excommunicated himself from the LDBC, but you still sound hella LDBC to me, Wild Soul. We appreciate your wit and humor over here, though. Of that, you can rest assured. Okay, what's going on with BH? Ruiz should be grateful to Eddie. Maybe he is, and he's just negotiate. Hey, them Matchroom boys and Joshua, they turned that fella's life around because I heard my good friend Beeb, where are you? It's a Monday. Should be over here chopping this up over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, Beeb. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that, yeah, Beeb, I think it was you, Beeb. I think it was you. Correct me if I'm wrong, Beeb, in the comment section. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I think it was you, Beeb, who said that Ruiz was already living good. I was talking about Ruiz's previous paydays and how he was living. I think it was you, baby. I know it was you. You said Ruiz was already living good. He's been making money. He drives a Porsche. But check my video out on Ruiz. Talking about trilogy with Joshua, and he said that our previous home we was renting. We've gone from renting to a mansion. Ruiz's own words. We've gone from renting to a mansion. Yeah, owning. We've gone from renting to owning. So I think his previous purses, they were just enough to live on. I don't know if he really had a Porsche at all. Not sure he really had a Porsche at all. But even if he did, he was a renter. He wasn't an owner. He was a renter. So with the Joshua fight, he stopped being a renter and started being an owner. And to give you some further indication of where Ruiz's head's at. Yeah. He says that the renovations, it's nice to get the mansion and renovate it and make it the way you like it. But he went on to say, yeah, the renovations are about, it's going to take another 2 months before they're finished. Okay, so that's from end of January to the end of March. Okay, so it's going to take 2 years before those renovations are complete. And then he said something very interesting. And he said, I'm already looking at the next place, I'm already looking at our next place. This is old already. He's already bored with the mansion and he's looking for the next place. He's
bored with the mansion that he hasn't lived in yet.
Correct. So that gives you an indication. I think Marla said it before, and I think I'm beginning to agree. That gives you an indication of where the man's head is at. It's like a kid in a candy store. He thinks the money cannot done. He thinks it can't done. He thinks it's everlasting. I think Marla said he's got he's not very grown up. And you know something? The way it seems, he seems like Red Glove Militant. He seems like he's not very grown up.
Commented about him. No, I was saying about somebody in your chat saying he's already living good. He just started living good about 7 months. About 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: There have been boxers. Look at Evander Holyfield, who made much bigger purses, and look at him now. He's fallen on hard times.
Mhm.
So the money doesn't weigh for the rest of your life. You know it. So it's
Yeah.
one of those things. He needs to be more worried about investing. And if you're buying a mansion, you know, a mansion could be an investment. But if you're buying a mansion and you haven't even lived in it yet, you're talking about, again, that's not really good spending habit.
It's not good. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all. It's not a good sign at all. Bedroom, he has the fastest hands in the division. He's a good combination puncher and has excellent chin, excellent counter punching ability, and good stamina. He doesn't train hard enough to use it. Correct a mundo. Correct a mundo. They probably walked away from a Wallin fight because the PPV numbers would have been lower than a Povetkin or Ruiz. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Although I don't know, man. I think Wallin. We want to see Wallin again. He did a great job against Fury, and I'm ready to see Wallin again in a high-profile fight. He fought the lineal champ, right? He fought the lineal champ, so let's get it on with Wallin. Somebody get Wallin in there. I think someone can come in that fight and not have affect their ability to fight to the full potential. That's not an excuse. That's pointing out the obvious. I heard Ruiz wants more money. Ruiz wants more money to fight White. That was the case. They got offered more money, and now they're talking. Those are Eddie Hearn's words. Boardroom Bully. What is Boardroom Bully? Well, Ruiz won one match. Now we got Ruiz fanboys deluding them. I'll do that Ruiz voice again. I'll do the Ruiz voice again. What are we talking about here? Ruiz won one match. Now we have Ruiz fanboys deluding themselves, talking about all kinds of stuff. Well, listen, what I would say to that Boardroom Bully is that, listen, man, I'm a good fighter. I've been a good fighter for a long time. I showed my skills against Joseph Parker. And, it's just that I didn't train properly this time. The first time I fought Joshua, I just beaten Domachenko. I can't remember his name. He's a Russian guy. And then I went straight into the Joshua fight, so I was ready this time. I took time off. I had to spend time with my friends. I had to spend time with the jewelers. I had to spend time down at the car showrooms on a daily basis. And this didn't leave me any time to train for Joshua. It just left me 3 months. And even then I wasn't wholehearted. I eventually got into shape. And then I went to Saudi Arabia. And then, I started hitting the buffet table. And all the weight came back on me. And that's how I think I came in a little bit heavy for the Joshua fight. It's an honest truth, man. That's the way it went down. But the next time, when I get the trilogy with Joshua, it's all over, man. I'm gonna put him down and keep him down. I want that fight in 2020. Forget about Dillian White. I want my belts back, man. The next time I meet him, I want him to let me hold the belts again, man. I just want to hold the belts one more time, man. Okay.
I put myself on mute because I felt like I was making you, because I was laughing. I was making you laugh a little bit in there. I was about to ask you, are you going to let him grow his balls this time?
I don't know if my balls are going to come back, man. I don't know if they're going to come back. I don't know. I don't know, man. Where's that picture? Where is that picture? You just reminded me. You jogged my memory. I should have that. Yeah, yeah. The where is it? Let me bring that up. That's a good call. I know I have that picture somewhere. Let me see if I can find it within 10 seconds. If I can find, oh, there it is. I found it within 5. It got writing. It's got writing obscuring. It's got writing obscuring the let's share this. Let's share this. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. There is Andrew. There it is, man. You know, we in Mexican, we have the big Mexican balls, man. That's why I have to hold the ball. I have to hold the ball by the balls, baby. I have to hold the ball by the balls. You see how big those balls are? Okay. Okay, we got slight diversion there. Slight diversion. Where are we? We've been through a lot. We've been through the map of Africa. People were saying there was an open border between China and Africa. I think China's over here. We've covered a lot today. China's over here. What we got? How many countries can I name? I think we got India. We got Pakistan over there, Bangladesh over there. Then we move on. I don't know the name of this country. I think Libya's over here somewhere. This is the continent of Africa. Where's Saudi? Where is Saudi? I think this is Saudi. Yeah, this is Saudi. I think this might be Saudi. India, Saudi. I think this is the Middle East right here. I think you got Afghanistan, Iran. And over here, I think this is Sudan or Liberia. No, Sudan, Nigeria, Sudan, Libya. All of those are North Africa. Morocco, Nigeria, I think is somewhere around here. Liberia, over here maybe. But anyway, this is Africa. Long story short, this is Africa and this is China. China's in green. So we got a lot of landmass betwixt the two. Open borders. I don't know. You're talking about political open borders or land or open borders in terms of land. Open borders. Economic, political, or in terms of land. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, there's China and there is Africa, if that helps clear up any ambiguity. What time is it now? Okay, it's 2:27. We're not gonna deal with not gonna open up no further topics. Just gonna deal with the comments we got in here. Boardroom bully. Ruiz has enough ability if he trained properly to beat a lot of the top. Listen, boardroom bully. I think that Ruiz is a top fighter. Long story short, he's a top fighter. Ruiz's problem is that his lack of discipline, and it's always plagued him. When has he ever come into a fight in shape? Because like John Dealey often says, if Ruiz ever came into a fight in shape, he'd be a cruiserweight at the heaviest. You hear that, Red Glove Militant?
Yeah.
If Ruiz was ever in shape, he'd be a cruiserweight, not heavyweight.
I believe it. I could definitely see that happening because he's 6'2", 6'3". That's the same height as Usyk.
Yeah, I think Ruiz is like 6 foot. I think he's marked down as 6'2". He might be 6'2", but anywhere between 6 foot and 6'2". Okay, so he did have a Porsche. So Beeb wasn't lying. He did, and that's not that I was saying Beeb was lying, but I thought Beeb might have been mistaken. But no, he did have a Porsche. He was always posting on IG, posting Insta stories of him in his Porsche. He got a 7-figure payday for the Parker fight. Yeah, he got I think he got $1 million for that fight, didn't he? I think Andrew Ruiz got something like $1 million, $1 million for that fight, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
No, neither am I. But I know it wasn't no long money. I think it was something in the region of a mil. Is this all the people who posted since then? That's a lot of posts.
Yeah. So if he got a mil for that fight,
Yeah.
after taxes and paying his trainers and everything,
Yeah.
you know, that, I mean, let's say he walked away with $600,000. You know, it's not anything to turn your nose up at, but when in the grand scheme of things,
yeah, it ain't massive. It ain't massive money. It ain't massive money at all. I'm still wondering what's the right weight for a fat fighter. What's going on here? Boxing Squared. New heavyweight mashup video uploaded. Post notifications. All right, what are we talking about here? When Ruiz gets beaten again, blame it on his new trainer. His new trainer. Well, so yeah, have we talked about this already? I think I don't know. I can't even remember. If we've discussed the fact that it could have been between the last show. Yeah, it probably was. It was probably after the last show. Last show was Wednesday. The last live show was Wednesday. I don't know. Can't remember if I've done a video on it. But the new trainer situation, I can't even remember if we talked about it on the live. Maybe not. The new trainer situation. Yeah, I've done a video on it. Yeah, that's where I've talked about it. The new trainer situation, out with Robles and in with question mark. Because I don't think they're talking about Teddy Atlas. I don't even think Atlas would work with him. I'm not sure. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if Atlas would work with him. I mean, his style, I think, is the kind of style that Atlas likes. But I mean, what about his discipline? But then again, his discipline would probably be a problem for any trainer. I think he'll get away from Robles. I don't necessarily think Robles was the problem, but I think Robles failed was keeping on him. You know, he should have told Ruiz, hey, you know, I know you're a celebrity now, but guess what? I'm the one who got you there, and I need to, you know, we need to do what we need to do to keep you there. And Robles didn't do that. So for that reason, I do think it was the right move to get rid of Robles, but ultimately doesn't listen to his trainer. It doesn't matter who trains him. You know, he does need a trainer who's going to stay on him, kind of like I forget the guy's name, but the one that he was the trainer for Hurd, and then remember Hurd left him because he told him, hey, you need to get rid of these guys you're hanging out with, bring them to the gym, or I'm not going to train you anymore. He needs someone like that. Someone who's going to be like, if you want me to train you, then you need to let me train you. You need to tell how big of a celebrity you think you are.
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
Yeah. He needs. Well, maybe Atlas fits the bill. Atlas fits the bill. Maybe Atlas is that guy. Maybe Atlas is that guy. I just wonder if Atlas would have the patience for Ruiz, because Ruiz, I don't know, man. Ruiz seems like a problem. He seems like a problem. He seems like he's the type of guy who'll just, you know, I'm sorry, man. I just got held up in traffic. That's why I'm 2 days late, man. I'm sorry, bro. Come up with some lame excuses that would be quite infuriating. Might end up, I don't know. I don't know who. I mean, even Abel Sanchez said, I think Abel Sanchez trained him in the past. And Abel Sanchez says, he's a talented guy, but can you get him in the gym? And if you get him in the gym, can you keep him in the gym? Can you get him in the gym, and can you keep him in the gym? Oh, boardroom bully is coming. He's a funny guy, man. He's a funny guy. Oh man, because you're the ones with the excuse.
That's excuses.
Boardroom bully is just going crazy right now. Understand what an open border means. Oh man, boardroom bully is just he's on one. He's on one. Oh man, he's on one. Open border. Don't care about. I want results. I want results. I don't know, man. This is just hilarious. Boardroom bully is hilarious. Very funny guy. There is a theory Ruiz lost on purpose to duck Wilder while hoping for an AJ. What? There's a theory that Ruiz lost on purpose to duck Wilder while hoping for an AJ trilogy down the line. How do you get trilogy? Oh, down the line. Duck Wilder. I wonder where that theory is. That a PBC thing? Is that theory a PBC thing? Okay. So boardroom bully. I think boardroom bully's been on the sherry. It's been on the sherry. So yeah. So calm down now, boardroom bully. I don't think any excuses have been made. So let that be that. Relax now, boardroom bully. I agree. I think yeah, I've come to the conclusion you're just messing about, boardroom bully. You're a funny guy, but let that be that, boardroom bully. No more craziness. It's enough craziness for one night, boardroom bully. That's enough craziness for one night. I'm just finishing up now with some comments. It's 2 hours 36 minutes. I like to cut it to 2 hours 30. That's my max these days. It's late over here. It's past midnight over here in the UK. 47 minutes past the hour. And we just finish up with the last topics here. So Atlas will get him in proper shape. Potentially, yes. Yeah, boardroom bully. Enough now, boardroom bully. Time out. Relax. You might have been on the. I suspect you've been on the sherry. Relax. Atlas would demand dedication, discipline. Probably rules out Andy at this time. Yeah. Demand dedication. Listen. Ruiz's money is firmly on his mind, in my opinion. Yeah, Ruiz's mind is firmly on his money right now. It's firmly on the money right now. Atlas will not be a good fit. He only wants fighters that bring the same passion as he. Yeah, I agree with that. Ruiz comes across as a diva, proper little diva. Ruiz is a proper little diva. He's always the quiet guy before, Well, give him a little bit of money. Give him a little bit of money, and he's lost the bloody plot. And Wolf would get him in shape. Damn. He needs a trainer that's not super stern. I don't even think Robles was super stern. I don't know what kind of training he needs. Because if you're prone to bunking off, you're going to bunk off. Regular Milton, jump in anytime you're ready.
I'm just going through the chat at this point.
Yeah.
Just looking at all the craziness. I mean,
heavyweight should definitely.
Now, all I'm gonna say is it really depends on the heavyweight. Like some, it even, and it goes for the muscular guys too. Like
Yeah,
AJ.
Muscle is still weight. If you're overweight, it don't matter if it's fat or muscle. You're overweight. Well, it can matter
Yeah.
if it's a low fat, but if you're overweight, you're just overweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but all I was gonna say is, AJ, he's a little bit shorter than Deontay Wilder, but the right weight for him is heavier than the right weight for Wilder, even though he's shorter than him. And that just has to do with their body types and everything. Like, yeah, Andy Ruiz is, he doesn't have I'll just call it an aesthetically pleasing body, but he's never going to be one of these guys who is ripped. You know what I'm saying? So his weight, the right weight for him is not going to be the same as the right weight for another guy who's even, like look at, what's his name? Big Baby Miller.
Yeah.
He was coming in at over 300 pounds.
Over 300. Over 300.
So it depends on the fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutement. Oh, shit. I accidentally deleted. I deleted the wrong person's message. Oh, shizzle. Okay. Sorry. I deleted the wrong message. Sorry about that. Oh, God. Okay. Boardroom Bully, relax, my friend. Relax. Okay. I'm gonna have to. Sorry, Boardroom Bully. But you gotta just relax. Boardroom Bully. I like you. You make me laugh. You're funny, but you can go a little bit far sometimes. Just relax. Okay. You are hilarious, but you gotta relax. Okay. So let me see what else is in here as we close the show. Wild Soul says, please promise to do that Ruiz accent. So, okay, this is for you, Wild Soul. I was too busy to train, man. When you get all this money, man, you never had money like me, bro. You never had the money like me, bro. When you got the money like me, bro, you're gonna be buying all the Lamborghinis, all the Porsches, all the G-Wagons, bro. You're gonna have that white gold. Have you ever had white gold on top of yellow gold and then put some more white gold on top of that? Do you know what that feels like on the skin, bro? Feels like a silk shirt, bro. Feels just like a silk shirt. Thank you for your appreciating my accent, bro. Yes, he used to train with Abel Sanchez. He used to train with Abel. Yeah, he used to train with Abel Sanchez, and Sanchez predicted that it was going to be tough to get the guy in the gym. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough to get the guy in the gym. Okay, so where we at? Where are we at? Boardroom, it's obvious. He looked fast when he beat AJ. Yo. Hello?
I was going to say is I actually had to get going. So I just wanted to say thanks for having me on.
100.
Hopefully I can do this more often. Life's just been a little bit crazy, so I try to. Yeah, but I do.
I hear you.
Appreciate you having me on, and it was great.
I appreciate you coming in on the chat. Appreciate you coming in on Red Glove Militant. He's got his own channel for sure. Go check him out. Red Glove Militant. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. And we talk again soon.
All right. Peace.
Peace out. Okay. And then there was one. And we pretty much come to the end of the show. Boardroom Bully going crazy. Boardroom bully bringing the madness. I had to put him on the naughty step to just cool out for a second. Don't be mad at me, boardroom bully. Please don't. Well, I told you to ease up just a little bit. Boardroom, it's obvious that he looked fast when he beat AJ, weighed 268 pounds. So it's obvious coming in under 260 is going to be good for him. Yeah, coming under 2. What about if he comes in under 250? That might be great for him. Comes in around 250, that would be great for him, I reckon. Miller's on every drug under the sun. Only reason he was able to perform at that. What? Oh yeah, Miller. You're talking about Miller. Yeah. Miller. Big belly Miller. Okay. Thialmus. Yep. He won't carry 300 pounds like that clean. Yep. 100%. 100%. Ruiz is gonna get me, yo. I don't come cheap, bro. I don't come cheap. Eddie's gonna have to come with that big Louis Vuitton bag for me to sign the contract with Ruiz. Matter of fact, made that 2 big Louis Vuitton bags. Good night. Okay, so what can I say? Well, let me get that thing up. Do I get that thing up? Let me get that thing up. Do I need to get that thing? I don't need to get anything up, do I? Not right now. Surely to goodness. Give me a few minutes. No, joking. Hold on. So this has been Boxing Talk with Rafi. What number are we on? I think it's 88. Are we on 88? Yeah, 89. Boxing Talk with Rafi, 89, where we talked about the passing of Kobe Bryant. We talked about, who else did we talk about? We talked about Kobe Bryant, the passing of Kobe Bryant. May he rest in peace. We talked about Alexandra Jimenez. Let me show you a few pictures, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace with his daughter. Gianni, I think. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace. Rose to the top. Rest in peace. We talked about Alexandra Jimenez. That's how she used to look. And this is how she looks now. She's being accused of having stanozolol found in her system. So there's the before after picture. That was a mere 2 years ago. And the after picture. Yeah. Before, after. Guilty or innocent. Only Vada will furnish us with that information. We talked about offers being up to 50% for Wilder to face Joshua, up to 50% for Wilder. I think it's highly unlikely. We talked about Joshua saying, why would I give him 50%? Why would I give Wilder, or Fury for that matter, 50%? Why would I do that? Does that make any sense whatsoever? I say no. You ain't worth it, mucker. You ain't worth it, mush. You ain't get your commercial value up, mush. As for you, Wilder, you need to get your commercial value up as well, mush. Talked about that. We talked about, what else did we talk about? We talked about Jarrett Hurd and his snooze fest. We talked about Garcia, and that was even more of a snooze fest. And there's lots of things we didn't talk about. Lots of things left on the topic sheets. I guess those topics will become videos. And the remainder of those may make it into the next live show. Okay, so this has been Boxing Talk with Rafi. We're joined by the Boxing Jedi, and Red Gloved Militant. Was anybody else? It was the three of us. Oh, damn. How could I forget? The man from Texas, Phil Walker, stopped on by, spent a little time with you and I over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And of course, have to give a shout out to the chat, because without you, we'll be talking to ourselves. And they say we were mad just because we were talking to ourselves. Is talking to yourself really a sign of madness? Or is it just a sign that you like to conversate, even when there's nobody else in the room? Okay, so it's been Boxing Talk with Rafi88, and a big shout out goes out to everybody in the chat. So it's the BH, it's the Mala, it's the Lisa Bayliss, it's the Thalamus Lofi, it's the crazy wild soul 88. It's the boardroom bully. I don't know if I said Lisa Bayliss yet. It's the Lisa Bayliss. Where are we? It is, of course, the Phil Walker from Texas. And I'm scrolling on, scrolling up. Of course, we had Boxing Squared up in the building. And Nissan Boxing. And who else have I missed? I know I've missed loads and loads and loads. But you get the gist. I think, who did we have in? We had in Box. We had Georgie Porgy in early. And El Cal L in early. And many more. So this is a Boxing Talk with Rafi. All right, where am I? What's the name of the show? It's Boxing Talk with Rafi 89, and it's on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Live show every Monday and Wednesday, 10 p.m. UK time. What's left to say? The only thing that is left to say, yes. Next time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. And the only thing that's left to say to one and all is blessed.